Hello, my name's Mandy and welcome to my channel. Today's class is going to be a short yoga class focused on feeling good. So whenever you're ready, you can meet me on your mat, on your sit bones with your legs crossed. So sitting up nice and tall, start to drop your chin slightly down and lift up through the crown of your head. Hands can be planted on the knees or the legs. And feel a nice length through the base of the pelvis or sit bones all the way up to the top of the head. You're welcome to turn your gaze down to the nose or maybe flutter your eyes closed. Start to notice your breath without any judgment. Seal your lips and start to take a slow inhale through the nose, filling up your belly and your chest with air. And then exhale, letting everything go. One more slow breath in, just like that, in through the nose. And exhale. Now bringing your awareness to the sit bones, start to slowly rock from side to side, shifting your weight into the left and the right. Sit bones, going at your own speed. Just noticing the weight shifting here. And then incorporate your breathing. And maybe your body starts to sway a little bit. And then we'll slowly settle back into stillness. And let's take a deep breath in, sweeping the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the heart space. Let's next rub the hands together, pressing into either hand, trying to create some warmth here. Maybe speeding it up a bit. And when the hands start to feel warm, go ahead and release them, so that there's about 4 inches between left and right hands. Maybe you notice your blood pumping a bit in the palms. And then let's take one hand to the heart and then one hand to the belly. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Awesome. Sweep those arms up to the sky once more. Left hand goes down to the floor. Right arm reaches up for a side body stretch. Trying to keep your shoulders away from your ears here. Lengthening that right hand away from the body. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. And then right hand down to the ground. Left arm sweeps up and over. Try to soften with that breath. Breathe in, both arms reach up to the sky. Next, we're going to open the elbows down in line with the shoulders, shining your heart forward. And then exhale, round as if you're going to hug a tree in front of you. Hands can reach towards one another. Chin tucks. Inhale, open up through the chest. Doesn't really matter what your arms do here as we expand. And then exhale, curl and contract. Whoops, reaching those arms around, hugging a tree. Another one, inhale, opening up. Exhale, round. This time, maybe reaching those arms around towards your shoulders. Dropping your chin down to the chest. Maybe dropping the forehead even more, maybe swaying side to side. So we are holding our shoulders or holding on to some part of our body as if to give ourselves a mini hug. And then just rock, try to release any tension in the low back or the neck. Nice, 2 more breaths here to just release and let go of any tension. Relaxing through the shoulders and the face. Beautiful. Okay, let's reach those hands down for the mat. And then we're gonna roll over onto the knees and onto our hands for tabletop. So planting both hands down to the mat, right underneath the shoulders, we're gonna gaze down to the floor, pressing away from the mat first. And then on your inhale, send the heart through the space between the biceps, looking up, still pressing away from the mat. And then exhale, chin goes to chest, rounding through the spine. Inhale for another round of cat-cows. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, pushing away and rounding. Chin goes to chest. One more here. Breathing in. Exhale, contract. Beautiful. Return back to a neutral tabletop. We're going to send the right arm long in line with the shoulder, trying to engage through the upper back, and then extend the left leg long as well. We'll breathe in here to hold, and exhale, going into bird dog. Draw the elbow and knee together. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl. Inhale to lengthen. And then planting the right hand down, extend and slide the left leg all the way out to the side and lower it slowly to the ground so that foot touches the floor. Still gazing down to the mat here, keeping your left hand down. We'll sweep the right arm up to the sky. Breathe in. Gaze up to those fingertips. And then on your exhale, we're gonna thread the needles, sending the right hand through the space between the left hand and left hip, reaching for the left ankle, resting the right cheek down on the mat. So the option here to grab hold of the left leg, foot, or ankle, whatever you can manage today. Another option to extend that left arm nice and long. So getting into a nice, more funky twist. Deep breath here. And exhale. Bringing the left hand closer in towards the body on the floor. Coming up slowly, right arm reaches up to the sky again to unfold. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Now we're gonna send our weight back into the right heel for this modified child's pose. So our left leg is stretched out long, forehead can come down to the mat. Another deep breath in to the belly, into the chest. And exhale. Bringing your awareness back into the fingertips and into the hands. You can draw them closer into you, rolling up. We're turning to this modified table. And then we're gonna tuck the left knee in and extend and wiggle that left foot ahead of us in between both hands. So kind of getting into this half split stretch. And we're gonna either plant those fingertips down to the floor. You can also use blocks on either side, which is always an awesome support. Or if you need to, you can take this a little more active and hold on to your hips and lengthen through the spine, the crown of the head. These options are yours to choose. Deep breath here. Exhale, lengthening through the back of that hamstring, waking up the back of our leg. Maybe we feel this in our low back too. Beautiful. Bend through that left knee a bit more. Start to drag your left foot in and plant that foot on the ground. Tuck your back toes coming up into a runner's lunge, and we're gonna sweep the arms up into the sky, pressing into both feet for a high lunge here. Arms reach up to the sky. Maybe you look up past your hands. Nice. Exhale, release the arms down by your side. Reach the hands behind you. Interlace the fingertips behind the low back. And if you can, extend through the arms, opening up through your chest, shining the heart forward. Again, maybe opening up through the throat and looking up to the sky. Feeling that left big toe pressing down into the floor to stabilize. One more breath in. Exhale, release the hands. Float the arms back up, lengthening up to the sky once more. And then exhale, plant the hands down to frame the left foot. We're gonna step that left foot back into a high plank. So pushing away from the mat here, both legs are together. Shift slightly forward and we'll lower into low chaturanga. You can drop your knees here for an assist. And then inhale to upward facing dog. Send your heart forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, tuck the chin, shift the weight back into downward facing dog. Nice, so first downward dog of the day, potentially, for you. Start to take some movements here that help open up the body. Maybe you shake your head yes or no. Maybe you take a big bend of the legs here. Nice. Now start to turn the gaze towards the hands. We're gonna bend through the knees more and shift our weight forward so our shoulders stack right on top of the wrist. And then go ahead and lower your knees down to the mat. We're in tabletop again. Whoops, something got stuck in my hair. There we go. Okay, so in tabletop once more. Let's go into a round of cat and cows. Drop the belly, inhale. Exhale, push away, chin goes to chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, push away, draw the abdominals up and in. One more round, inhale. Exhale, push away. Return back to our neutral. This time we're gonna lengthen the left arm long, out in line with the shoulder. And then slide the right toes behind you. And then lift that right leg in line with the hip. Going into another round of bird dogs on the other side. Deep breath here. Exhale, curl. Elbow and knee come together. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, lengthen. One more. Inhale to lengthen. Beautiful, setting the left hand down this time. Reaching the right foot out to the right, sliding it in line with that right hip and letting the foot find the floor. Start to lift that left arm up into the sky, breathing in for a twist, looking up to those fingertips. And then exhale, we'll thread the needle. Left hand reaches through the space between the right hand and right hip, resting your left cheek down on the mat, and maybe reaching for the right ankle with that left hand or the foot. Another option to lengthen the right arm nice and long. Trying to settle into this stretch here. Might feel like you're turning yourself into a little pretzel, but ignore any little thoughts that are coming up, unless there's pain, of course, and draw your focus to your breath. Awesome. Sliding the right hand closer in towards the face. If it left, reaching the left arm back up to the sky, and then exhale, plant the left hand down. Press back towards the left heel, finding that modified child's pose. Forehead comes down to the mat. Right leg is nice and long. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Nice. We're going to slowly roll up through the spine, dragging the hands back underneath the shoulders, and then draw the right knee in towards the core. And then start to wiggle that right foot out in between the space between both hands. So we're stretching out through the back of this right leg again, lengthening through the spine. You can hold on to yoga blocks if you like and have those by your side. Two more rounds of breath. Maybe playing around with flexing and pointing the foot. Nice. Start to bend through that right knee a bit and drag the right foot a couple inches closer, and then plant the right foot onto the ground. Tuck the back toes. And then coming into the runner's lunge first, we'll sweep the arms forward and up for high lunge. Gazing up to the hands, arms reach long and tall away from our center of the body. For stability, you can imagine drawing your inner thighs closer here or squaring off your hips. On your exhale, let the arms melt down, reaching the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers and extend through those arms. Open up through the shoulders. Gazes up. Deep breath in. Exhale. Oh, one more breath in. And on your out breath, releasing the grip of the hands. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Over that right leg. Plant your hands, step back into high plank. Shift the weight slightly forward. Option to lower the knees here. Low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, shining that heart forward. And then tucking through the chin, shifting our weight back into downward facing dog. Nice, planting the feet. Let's take a nice deep cleansing breath here. And let it out. Beautiful. Sweeping the right leg up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bend through the right knee and open up through the hip. And another breath in to square off and lengthen through the right leg. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the face, and we're gonna slide the left heel down to the ground. Right knee can reach behind the right wrist, making our way into pigeon. So today you can take this version of pigeon as I'm doing, or you can bend through your back leg quite a bit so you have about double 90 degrees with the legs. So the option is yours. You can stay upright. Maybe you feel that stretch as is. And you're also welcome to fold forward a bit more. Doing whatever you need for the stretch to become a little less tight and more soft. This posture is so great for the hips, but it also helps us balance our back. So start to send your breath to whatever parts of your body that feel a little maybe stiff or a little sticky. And see if you can allow yourself to soften a little bit more. We'll hold this for about 3 more breaths. Beautiful. Start to drag the hands closer to that front leg and plant them. And then start to turn your right leg in. So you can come up onto that knee for a moment and tuck your back left toes. Press into those hands and then send your right leg back so we can find our way back to downward facing dog. Nice. Drawing the feet together to close off the space between both feet at the back of your mat. We're gonna rise up on the toes here and then tuck through the pelvis and start to roll out to our high plank. Doing some spinal waves here. So next we'll bend the knees, arch through the spine, send the tailbone back, gliding ourselves back to downward facing dog. Playing around with the movements here. So again, rolling through the spine out into plank. Exhale, sending it back into downward facing. We'll do this 2 more times. Imagine tucking through the pelvis, rolling out through the spine, crown of the head reaches, and then bend through the knees, gliding the hips all the way back. 1 more. Beautiful. Now we'll extend that left leg up to the sky. Bend through that left knee a bit, opening up through the hip. And we'll square it back off, lengthening through the leg. Draw the left knee in towards the face, and then lowering the left foot and knee down to the floor, finding your version of pigeon on this other side. Again, back leg can be bent in a bit for a little more ease, or it can be nice and straight out behind you. Choose whatever you need today here. And maybe one side feels substantially different than the other. And just knowing that's totally normal. And that's why we're doing yoga, to help balance our bodies and also balance and center our minds. So we'll hold here for about 4 more breaths. Beautiful. About 1 more deep breath here. And then if they're not already, start to plant your hands back on the mat, closer to that left leg, coming up a bit with the torso, and then roll over onto that left sit bone. So maybe your left hand goes out to the side, sweep the right leg all the way around and to the front of your mat. So both legs are in front of you now. We're gonna take a nice Navasana boat pose next. So we'll shift the torso back, lengthening through the spine, Grab hold of the back of the legs to start, and we'll float left and right foot up so that both feet are in line with the knees. We have an option here to let go, so you can reach those arms long out in front of you with the palms facing up. It helps to have a slight tuck of your chin here, not like you're giving yourself a double chin, but just a lengthen through the spine so that you can feel the crown of the head nice and long, activating through the core. Nice deep breath in, squeezing those legs together. Exhale, hold. Another breath in. And then we'll let the toes reach down to the floor. Beautiful. And this time we'll roll all the way down to the mat, leaving our head last. And then once we get there, draw the knees into the chest, grab hold of the shins or the back of the legs and rock side to side. Releasing the low back. Releasing anything we might be holding on to. Nice, extending the left leg nice and long. We'll hold on to the right leg. Going into a supine twist here. Right knee goes over towards the left. Right arm reaches nice and long, or in cactus. And you can turn your gaze over to the right hand. Breathing into the torso. And feeling the whole body soften. Another breath in returns our right leg back up in front of our torso, dragging the left leg back in as well. And then we'll hold on to the left, send the right leg long onto the floor. Send the left knee across the body with a supine twist, and left arm reaches long, or in cactus this time for the other side. Turning that gaze past that left arm, trying to keep that left shoulder planted along the floor. It's also key here to focus on relaxing your belly here, in a sense. So try not to grip or hold on to any particular position, but allow your body to relax. One more deep breath in. Beautiful. Draw the left knee back in towards the center. Both feet come in. And then we'll slowly extend the legs down along the mat for a Shavasana. You can take this time to flutter the eyes closed. Maybe turn your gaze down to the nose first. And settle in. If you're ready to come out of Shavasana, you can start to wiggle the toes, maybe rub the fingertips together, or circle the ankles. And then when you're ready, you can pick a side to roll over onto. Maybe tucking the knees in, resting a cheek on an arm. And then pressing into both hands, making our way up into a seated position. Maybe crossing your legs when you get there. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll take a last cleansing breath of the class, reaching the arms up. Exhale, hands to center. One more big breath in through the nose. And exhale, hands return to the heart space. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on this flow, this feel good flow. I hope you guys are feeling good. If you liked this class, please hit the like button, maybe leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to continue to support. Thank you guys for today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.